Have you ever stood at the helm of a family crisis, a workplace dilemma, or even a community decision, only to wonder why your authority felt so fleeting? You've lived long enough to see leaders rise and fall, some through sheer intimidation, others through quiet admiration. But what if I told you that fear and respect aren't enemies at all? They often dance together in the shadows of power, and mistaking one for the other has toppled more empires, big and small, than any external force. As we navigate our later years, reflecting on the legacies we've built in careers, homes, and friendships, understanding this dynamic isn't just insightful, it's essential for leaving a mark that endures. Today, let's explore why fear and respect coexist, and why confusing them spells certain failure. Consider this: fear and respect aren't opposites. They're companions in the complex world of human influence. In your lifetime, you've likely witnessed both at play, perhaps in a stern parent who commanded obedience yet earned lifelong devotion, or a boss whose threats kept the office humming but bred hidden resentments. They coexist because both stem from perceptions of power, but they pull in different directions. Fear grips the immediate, demanding compliance through perceived threat, while respect builds a foundation of voluntary allegiance. Confuse them, and you risk short-lived control that crumbles under pressure. Think back to historical figures or even personal mentors who've shaped you. The ones who lasted weren't just feared, they were revered. This interplay explains why some authorities fade into obscurity, while others inspire generations. Let's delve into what fear really does to the human brain. It's primal, activating the amygdala, that ancient alarm system wired for survival. When fear takes hold, it triggers a threat response, hearts race, focus sharpens, and compliance follows swiftly. In the short term, it's effective for control. People fall in line to avoid pain or loss. You've seen it in emergencies, like a fire drill where panic ensures quick action, or in tough negotiations where a raised voice seals a deal. But this is no foundation for lasting bonds. The brain adapts, and what once terrified becomes routine or resented. For those of us with decades of experience, we've learned that fear might get the job done today, but it sows seeds of doubt for tomorrow. On the flip side, respect creates something far more profound: trust, predictability, and enduring influence. It's not about immediate obedience, it's about fostering an environment where people choose to follow because they believe in your judgment. Respect engages the prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational thought and long-term planning. When someone respects you, they anticipate fairness, see your competence, and internalize your values. Recall a teacher or colleague from your past, whose quiet authority still guides you. That's respect at work. It builds alliances that withstand trials, unlike fear's fragile grip. In our wiser years, we've come to value this subtle power, knowing it weaves stronger threads in the fabric of relationships. Fear works fast because it's instinctive, a jolt that demands instant reaction. In moments of chaos, like steering a team through a sudden setback or guiding a family during hardship, intimidation can rally forces quickly, but it fades faster than it ignites. Psychologists call this the decay rate of intimidation. Repeated exposure desensitizes people, turning fear into apathy or rebellion. What starts as awe erodes into eye rolls. You've probably felt this in your own life. A once intimidating figure loses their edge over time, revealing cracks in their armor. The rush of control is addictive, but it's unsustainable, leaving leaders scrambling for new threats to maintain order. Respect, however, takes longer to cultivate because it demands proof over time. It's built on consistency, showing up reliably, fairness in decisions, and competence that earns trust. Think of it as compounding interest in a lifelong investment. Small acts of integrity accrue into unshakable authority. Why does it last? Because it's internalized. People don't follow out of dread, but out of alignment with your principles. In later life, many of us regret the shortcuts of youth, wishing we'd invested more in this patient path. Leaders who embody it, be it in boardrooms or backyards, create legacies that outlive them, inspiring others long after the initial spark. Now, about that famous Machiavellian line, "It is better to be feared than loved." It's often quoted, but rarely understood in context. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote in a turbulent era of princes and plots, where survival trumped sentiment. He meant fear as a tool for stability in unstable times, not a blanket rule. Today, it's misinterpreted as endorsement of tyranny, ignoring his caveat that excessive cruelty breeds hatred. In our modern lens, shaped by psychology and leadership studies, we see the nuance: fear without respect invites downfall. You've lived through enough history to spot this: dictators toppled by the very fear they wielded, while statesmen endure through balanced regard. Leaders often wield fear without intending to, through subtle gaps in authority. It creeps in via unpredictability, one day lenient, the next explosive. Emotional volatility signals instability, prompting fear-based responses rather than respectful ones, or authority gaps, where unclear expectations leave room for intimidation to fill the void. In workplaces you've known, a manager's mood swings might keep staff on toes, but at what cost? For older generations like ours, who've seen the evolution of leadership styles, this unintentional fear undermines the wisdom we bring. Awareness is key. Recognizing these slips allows for course correction toward genuine influence. That said, fear isn't always the villain. It's useful in specific scenarios. During crises, like a natural disaster or a health scare in the family, it enforces immediate compliance for safety. Boundaries benefit from it too. A firm no, backed by consequence, sets limits without negotiation. Moments requiring swift action, such as averting a financial misstep or halting reckless behavior, leverage fear effectively. But use it sparingly, like a tool in your kit, not the whole toolbox. We've learned through experience that over-reliance here erodes the very trust needed for non-crisis times. Yet fear backfires spectacularly when overused. It breeds resentment, that slow-burning fire of injustice. People comply outwardly but sabotage subtly. Missed deadlines, whispered complaints, or outright defection. Quiet resistance is the worst. It's invisible until it erupts. Think of unions forming in toxic workplaces or family rifts from authoritarian parenting. In our stage of life, we've seen these backlashes play out over decades, turning potential allies into adversaries. The cost? Isolation and regret, far outweighing any short-term gains. Enter the power of predictability, a cornerstone of true authority. Consistency isn't flashy, but it earns more control than any threat. When people know what to expect, fair treatment, steady guidance, they relax into respect. It's like a well-worn path, reliable and inviting. Volatility, by contrast, keeps everyone guessing, fostering anxiety over admiration. Leaders who've mastered this, perhaps a coach or community elder you admire, command without coercion. For us, with the perspective of years, predictability is the quiet strength that builds empires of influence. Respect changes behavior without force by instilling internalized standards. People adopt your ways because they see value, not out of duress. External pressure from fear might alter actions temporarily, but respect rewires motivations. It's why mentees carry forward lessons from respected figures long after they're gone. In families, this means children who emulate virtues willingly. In teams, colleagues who innovate from shared vision. We've witnessed this transformation. It's the difference between fleeting obedience and profound loyalty. Often people pretend to respect fear, mistaking compliance for admiration. They nod along, perform duties, but harbor no true esteem. It's survival theater, smiles mask simmering discontent. True respect shines in voluntary acts, going the extra mile without prompt. Fear's facade crumbles under scrutiny. Probe deeper, and you'll find reluctance. In our reflective years, distinguishing this saves energy, focusing on relationships rooted in genuine regard. The hybrid model of calm authority blends the best, firmness with restraint. Strong leaders assert boundaries without excess, combining fear's edge in rare moments with respect's depth daily. It's poised, not punitive. Think of a judge's gavel, decisive yet just. This balance yields sustainable power, adaptable to life's fluxes. Examples abound in history and personal lore, figures who commanded rooms with presence, not volume. Situations reveal the stark difference between fear and respect. In workplaces, fear drives quotas but stifles creativity. Respect fuels innovation. Families under fear fracture with secrets. Respect binds through open dialogue. Teams led by intimidation falter in adversity. Respectful ones thrive. Negotiations? Fear bullies, short wins. Respect forges lasting pacts. Drawing from your vast experiences, these contrasts highlight why one endures while the other erodes. Finally, the principle. Fear controls the moment, but respect controls the future. Lasting influence isn't accidental. It's crafted through deliberate choices toward trust and consistency. As we ponder our own footprints, this truth liberates. Opt for respect, and your impact ripples eternally. This exploration addresses a timeless debate, grounding it in psychology and leadership insights. It steers clear of superficial bravado, elevating our understanding. Perfect for thoughtful reflection in our seasoned years, it invites sharing wisdom and saving insights for posterity, a rule that stands the test of time.